Welcome to Flagler in Focus, your place to hear stories of people, places, wonders, and sights of Flagler County. From coast to country and all the marshland and mangroves in between, I'm your host, Karen Callahan, and today I have with me Dr. Saviak. Dr. Saviak is an experienced senior executive leadership and management consultant, author, researcher, college professor, and attorney. Welcome to the show, Dr. Saviak.
It's wonderful to be with you here today, and I just want to commend you for the high quality of this show. You really provide a lot of value and engagement for your listeners.
Thank you so much. It's a team effort. Couldn't be here without the rest of the team here in communications at Flagler County, but thank you. So let's start off with introducing folks that may not have heard your name before, introducing yourself to our listeners.
Yes, I'm Dr. Joe Saviak, and for several years now, I think we started in 2019. I've been fortunate to teach the Flagler County Local Government Leadership Academy, and we now have well over 100 alumni from all the different local governments, and it sharpens key skills. It strengthens your leadership abilities. It fosters teamwork across different organizations and a positive organizational culture for all of local government. And it's just very rewarding to see all the success of our alumni.
Yes, and as an alumnus of your class, I can concur. So you offer great lessons with your leadership academy. So thank you. So we're going to start off the podcast with asking, what does it take to be an effective public servant today, in your opinion?
That's an excellent question. Integrity, professionalism, empathy. You're in the people business, so you better have good people skills. Among the different skills that you might require for success in public service, I definitely would highlight two today in 21st century local government Florida, and that would be an innovative problem solver and also be committed to delivering exceptional customer service. I would say with public service, you may not always be thanked for everything. There actually will also be criticism. Sometimes it's fair, sometimes it's unfair. Mm-hmm. And you just can't let it bother you. You got to move forward with the mission, and which is delivering exceptional service to the citizens of Flagler County. You're going to be asked to make tough decisions, as well as if you're in a leadership role, how do people learn how to make decisions? By making decisions. So you need to give others the opportunity to make decisions. And what is leadership all about? Because you may aspire to being in a leadership role in public service. You're defining for the organization the vision, the mission, the goals, the objectives, the team, the culture. You're leading change. I'd also recommend for success in a public service career that you're continually learning and growing and improving. We're in an era right now in Florida local government, will be for the 21st century, where we've got a combination of important factors at work. High growth, increasing service demand, limited resources. You're probably going to see our most innovative and successful local government leadership in this era because of those type of challenges that have to be addressed. You should definitely know and understand your community, but more than knowing and understanding, you have to care about the people that you serve. Compassion, empathy is really important. In public service, you have to be there to do something, not be somebody. You're there to have an impact, make a difference. And those are generally the type of individuals who are attracted to public service. You need to be willing to step up to the microphone, accept responsibility. The public wants that; they expect it, and they're grateful for it. And during the 21st century, we're going to have a lot of disruptive change. It's going to be like the COVID era is a good snapshot of what the 21st century is going to be like, where you're having to do a lot of rapid, real-time innovation. And so you're going to need to be comfortable, confident, and competent with leading and managing change during this era to be successful in public service.
Those are excellent points. How do you nourish a strong workplace culture and protect it?
This is an excellent topic. So let me briefly just discuss what what is organizational culture, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
It is by far the most powerful force governing an organization. It will determine the success or failure of an organization, the level of success that an organization can experience. I would say, your values and beliefs really do determine your destiny. In terms of defining culture, it would be the way we do business here, right? If people have personalities, organizations have cultures, right? It is the organizational glue. And a CEO once said, I think this is especially true, that if you get the culture right, most of the other stuff will take care of itself. But you have to be really intentional and focused and deliberate and disciplined about culture. Culture explains how and why people think, talk, and behave the way that they do. It's the dominant value system of a workplace. If it's successful, if it's the right culture, given your mission, vision, and objective goals and objectives, it's going to help you achieve and be effective. People in the organization have to what? Know it, understand it, believe in it. It's got to travel from here, their head, to here, their heart. They've got to represent that culture each and every day. And when you're in leadership, you want to watch out for subcultures, any kind of deviation or departure from the positive, single, consistent, clear culture that you have. Avoid cultural drift. Protect your culture. So what makes culture, what makes it a success for an organization when they're trying to achieve and retain a specific culture? Here's the ingredients. Here are the predictors and factors. They're going to need a long-term commitment by leadership to that culture. You're going to need, as with anything else with human behavior and thinking, the right incentives and disincentives. No mixed messages. You want clarity and consistency when it comes to culture. Mixed messages kill culture, right? You need to first decide what should our culture be, and then define it. Define those, the mission, the vision, the values, the goals, the objectives. Write it down. Utilize, if it's not written down, it's not culture. Utilize all the different tools of organizational management and communication to promote that culture. You hire the culture. In fact, recruit the culture and hire the culture, right? Evaluate for the culture, promote for the culture. Employees have to learn it. They have to do it. They have to live it. You can measure culture. There are positive metrics, right? If you're looking at retention or customer satisfaction. There are also negative metrics, right? Like if we're having high turnover or regulatory or legal issues because of the behavior of the organization. I would recommend all leaders change only what needs changing. Don't attempt to change everything in the organization to get a new culture if culture change is what you're trying to engineer. Definitely count on the individuals in the organization and win their hearts and minds. Those influencers and opinion leaders, those individuals who have a network and a constituency, and other people listen to them and other people copy them and other people repeat and replicate what they see those individuals doing. Sometimes you're having to lead culture change, and to get the leadership buy-in, you need to let people experience the pain of the status quo so they understand why we need to change, right? Definitely leverage your hotspots in the organization where you can get maybe more bang for the buck. What am I talking about that have a greater opportunity to have a larger impact on thinking and behavior? I'm talking about HR. I'm talking about training. I'm talking about professional standards when you're trying to protect the culture. How do you persuade human beings to think and act differently? There's two different models we utilize. Cognitive behavioral, which is I change the thinking to change the behavior. There's also I change the behavior to change the thinking. If somebody says, well, I don't know if I should do it or do it that way, you go, well, let's give it a shot. And by the mere act of repeating the right behavior, the thinking begins to align with that behavior. So approach it both ways if it's change that you're after. Don't just go vertically, which is leadership is telling people top down what the culture is and how to think and what to do. Horizontally, peer to peer, coworker to coworker is really important. And then utilize every other tool available to you when you're in leadership. The recruiting, the hiring, the onboarding, the training, your policies, your procedures. Supervision is key. Your frontline supervisors are your guardians of the right culture because they're ensuring that employees that they're supervising are thinking and doing things consistent with our culture. Your promotions, it's the Jack Welch line, a promotion speaks 1,000 words, right? It clearly tells the organization what you value. So you want to be promoting individuals who represent the right culture. Awards, recognition, when you evaluate employees, your technology, your facilities, utilize a leadership development program and all your training activities to promote that culture. The point is, make sure you're utilizing every tool in the toolbox to promote that right culture. And I'll close with this on culture. It should be abundantly evident to everyone in the organization what the culture is. It should permeate everything. We should be able to see it, hear it everywhere we go in the organization and understand, people here have a specific set of values that govern their thinking and behavior. People here talk and act a certain way, and they don't talk and act in ways that are counter to those values, right? So it's I can't agree more with that CEO who said, if you get culture right, everything else will take care of itself.
Excellent. I concur. This is good stuff, Dr. Saviak. Key leadership traits. So what are some key leadership traits that you recommend to inspire and retain top talent?
I want to talk about some strategies for recruitment and retention too, if I could fold that in.
Absolutely.
But I'm with General Powell, and he said trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most experienced individual who's the best leader. And obviously your leadership has a major influence on recruitment and retention. But it's not the most experienced individual. It's not the individual with the most credentials and the longest resume. It's not the individual with the longest tenure in the organization. It's not the individual with the greatest amount of charisma. It is trust. That's why people follow. And this is a major challenge, recruitment and retention today in American employment. Consistently, national surveys of employees show that 50% feel unappreciated, 80% say they're not thriving at work. The levels of engagement and morale are lower than they should be. Turnover is at an all-time and persistent high. So this is a really key topic. So let me knock this myth down. Turnover is not a guaranteed new normal. In other words, please don't utilize that as an excuse for doing nothing about recruitment or retention, just going, oh, well, that's how people are today, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing a lot of recruiting and training of high-quality individuals of integrity for your organization and you're losing them to others,
Mm-hmm.
that is not a winning model,
Yeah.
right? Retention, it improves performance, innovation, customer service, morale, teamwork, employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, right? Fundamentally, employees want what? A mission they can believe in, leadership they can trust, a team who supports them. So let's talk about things that leaders can do to ensure retention, because it's such a hot topic
Mm-hmm.
today. Treat employees as your most important asset. Why? They are. I always say,
Mm-hmm.
if 80%, 90% of your budget is payroll, that's a good indicator what's really important here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the 21st century is all about, which is talent. Attracting and retaining the right talent is the key to success. You want to make them want to stay. In other words, you need to be really intentional about retention. Hire character, strengthen skills, teach subjects. When you hire individuals, help them chart a career path. So every day they're coming to work and going, I'm achieving my individual goals. I'm also aiding the organization in realizing its goals. Never micromanage. We want to give individuals a chance to think, work, be trusted, right? Micromanagement hurts morale, productivity, performance, teamwork. We want individuals to feel free to fail and fail forward and fail up. In other words, it's okay to make mistakes. That's part of the learning and growing process. Individuals do best if you want to retain them with continuous feedback, real time, actionable. Here are your specific strengths. Retain those. Here are your areas for improvement. Let me help you make those. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And also, too, you hired them, so you're responsible for their success. Help them chart the right career path for themselves. Get to know them and then leverage that information to bring out the best in them. Because different employees, I always say, treat everyone the same except differently. Learn their specific interests and goals, right? And then appeal to that. Everyone's got to feel valued and appreciated at work if you want to retain them. Invest in their success, grow them, give them those opportunities to learn and develop greater knowledge and sharpen key skills. Treat employees like their owners, right? In other words, make sure they're fully informed, and so they feel invested in the organization. With few exceptions, most of the things that we're doing in the organization can be shared with employees, right? Like mission, vision, goals. The more they know, the more they'll take responsibility and ownership. Give them that opportunity to have a real impact, take on new challenges. This is key. Good supervisors aid retention. Bad supervisors hurt retention, right? So the quality of that relationship between the employee and the supervisor is key. They want you being a coach and a mentor. Your job is to hire the motivated and then keep them motivated. You want to, once again, I mentioned this earlier, lead with empathy and emotional intelligence. People need to know you care about them. You understand. You have a good employee, they're going through a tough time, they have a parent in hospice. You know what? If they need to leave work early on Friday to get to see them, and they've just been really productive this week, go ahead and give them that 2 hours to depart and spend time with a loved one, Of course, pay close attention to what's going on in your immediate regional talent market in terms of pay and benefits so you can stay competitive. Pay close attention to what the motivators are and what the demotivators are in the workplace and what you can do to increase motivators and decrease demotivators. Always respect and trust your team. If you want them to respect and trust you, it's a two-way street. And once again, going back to micromanagement, another good way to put it is give them freedom within the guardrails, right? Within the industry and professional and policy and legal standards. Hey, if you could do this as A, B, or C ways, I tell you what, if you choose A and I would have chosen B, but both A and B are acceptable, you know what? Let's let you do it that way, right? People do best with consistency, clarity, stability, predictability. It goes back to that trust in leadership. Praise in public and coach in private. And always celebrate employee successes. Find opportunities to highlight their contributions to the organization, positive results, a great feedback you heard from a citizen about their performance. Make sure that which you celebrate, recognize, and reward, you will get more of.
I love it. Ending on celebrate successes. I love it. It's good stuff. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Saviak. If people have more questions about if they need your services or they want to learn more about the books you've written, how can they find you?
www.drjoesaviak.com. No period after the R.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast today.
I can't commend you enough for this show. I enjoy listening to it. You have fascinating guests, and you always provide great value to your audience.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for joining us for Flagler in Focus. Until next time.